Hey, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited. I haven't filmed a reading vlog in a really long time, but before we start that, I want to also talk about my TBR for May. I feel like I'm being overly ambitious again, but let's dive right in, I guess. First things first is The Catch by Yrsa Daley Ward. Hope I'm saying her name correctly. And this is a book that comes out June of this year, 2025. And it is about, or described as, twin sisters Clara and Dempsey have always struggled to relate, their familial bond severed after their mothers vanished into the Thames. In adulthood, they are content to be all but estranged until Clara sees a woman who looks exactly like their mother on the streets of London. The version of Serene, aged not a day, has enjoyed a childless life. Clara, a celebrity author in desperate need of validation, believes Serene is their mother, while Dempsey, isolated and content to remain so, believes she's a con woman. As they clash over this stranger, the sisters hurtle toward an altercation that threatens their very existence, forcing them to finally confront their past together. Like, are you not sold by that? I'm really excited to read this one. I have already read the first 10 pages. I love the writing style. I think Yrsa is a poet, so the book already reads very much so like a poet is writing fiction, which I mentioned before is my favorite, so definitely continuing this one in May. Next is The Ghosts of Gwendolyn Montgomery by Clarence A. Haynes. This comes out June 17th, and it is from Legacy Lit. Clarence actually reached out to me to send me an arc of this book, so I'm really excited to read it. It is described as a fast-paced, sexy, ghostly adventure. A publicist at the top of her game must confront her secret, mystical past. To be a client of Gwendolyn Montgomery, New York's most powerful publicist at Sublime Creative, is to be infused with a certain oomph, a mysterious glamour. She seems to have created the ideal life with her handsome new boyfriend, the perfect match. But Gwendolyn has a secret. She's a mystical practitioner who can tap into the interdimensional metaphysical realm of the dead known as El Intermedio. Gwendolyn has hidden her powers, buried her old life, and started anew. Gwendolyn would prefer not to have anything to do with ghostly drama, yet in order to get to the bottom of the spookiness derailing her life, she must face the demons she'd long left behind, or the spirit world will be unleashed, threatening her very existence and all of New York. It sounds very interesting. I'm really excited to read it, just to kind of see like the power part, the spirit part. Also, like the fact she's a publicist is kind of fun. A publicist in New York, also pretty fun. So yeah, planning on reading this one this month as well. Next, I'm moving this one from last month to this month. Like, please bear with me. And that is The Devil Three Times by Ricky Fain. I'm going to read this book this one. I started today. I'm 20 something pages in so far. I'm very much so enjoying it. But as a reminder, this is described as Yetunde awakens aboard a slave ship en route to the United States with the spirit of her dead sister as her only companion. Desperate to survive the hell that awaits her at their destination, Yetunde finds help in an unexpected form, the devil himself. The devil, seeking a way to re-enter the pearly gates of heaven, decides to prove himself to an indifferent god by protecting Yetunde and granting her a piece of his supernatural power. In return, Yetunde makes an incredible sacrifice. It's also described as steeped in the spiritual traditions and oral history of the Black diaspora. The Devil Three Times is a baptism by fire and water, heralding an exciting new voice in American fiction. Like I mentioned, I'm a few pages in so far. I'm very locked into the story. Again, normally I'm not someone that enjoys historical stories, but so far I'm very intrigued by this. The writing kind of captures you immediately, so loving it. Next is a book that I've been really excited to pick up, and that's Fish Tales by Nettie Jones. This one is described as a mesmerizing spin through the high-rolling high times of 1970s New York and Detroit. Fish Tales is a lost classic taking its rightful place in the spotlight. Also described as a bold exploration of the blurred line between love and control, pleasure and addiction, Fish Tales offers a glittering, devastating portrait of a woman's pursuit of her own kind of freedom. It is a striking deluge of longing, anxiety, ego, identity, and love. As provocative as it is moving, as profane as it is artful, Nettie Jones' Fish Tales illuminates the warring forces of power, desire, intimacy, and fear, and exposes the raw nerve of our yearning to be loved on our own terms. I'm really looking forward to reading this one. It's blurbed by so many people. Justin Torres, author of Blackouts, Raven Leilani, author of Luster, Brian Washington, author of Family Meal, Angela Flournoy, The Wilderness, The Turner House. So I will be reading this month as well. Up next is The Original Daughter by Jemima Way. This comes out on May 6th, so not too far from now, but I've had it for months and I feel feel like, okay, I can finally make the time and space to read it this month. And it is described as a dazzling debut which explores the formation and dissolution of family bonds in turn of the millennium Singapore. The author of If I Survive You, Jonathan Escoffery, said that I left, I wept, I called my mom. This story of a family asks not just what it means to love, but to love well, especially in a world where our relationships can both bond and break us. You know, I love a family story. I love a complicated family. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading this one. I will report back about how I feel about it. Next up are my two kind of unrealistic adds to my TBR, but who knows? First up is Flashlight by Susan Choi, and it's described as a major new novel from the National Book Award winner, Susan Choi. Flashlight spans decades and continents in a spellbinding investigation of loss, memory, and the ways in which we are shaped by what we cannot see. Look at that cover, she's stunning. I'm very intrigued by this. FSG actually sent this to me. It comes out on June 3rd. So I'm really hoping that I can start and or finish it this month. And then lastly is The Emperor of Gladness by Ocean Vuong. This comes out May 13th, and it's described as Ocean Vuong returns with a big-hearted novel about chosen family, unexpected friendship, and the stories we tell ourselves in order to survive. All the things I love: family, choice. Maybe there's some like grief in here, loss, maybe questions about what it means to like live. I don't know. Ocean's writing, if you've never read any of his books, very deep, very emotional, and it's gonna kind of keep you there. So I'm definitely going to try to read this one this month, at least start it. And lastly, I am also going to be listening to Tia Williams' new book, which is Audre and Bash Are Just Friends. I was able to get an advanced listening copy from Hachette through NetGalley, and I don't know if you guys have ever seen the NetGalley app. It's just so ugly. This is her young adult book that is described as a scorching hot summer, scorching hot chemistry. Two teens can't forget they're just friends in this sweet, funny, electrifying romance from New York Times bestselling author Tia Williams. Perfect for fans of Jenny Han and Nicola Yoon. Also, if you read 7 Days in June, then you know that Audre is the daughter in that book, so it's going to be nice to kind of see her story. I've started listening so far. I think I've only listened to about an hour of it, but Tia has the like young adult voice down so good. I'm listening to it, I'm like, yeah, this is very believable that these are like 17, 18-year-olds. Very believable. The story's already been pretty funny so far. I'm looking forward to doing that. I'm going to be listening to that while I continue to build the Lego Tudor house that I showed a little bit about in my like April wrap up. I have about 4 bags left, which is like kind of cool. So I'm going to be building. I'll probably finish it in this vlog and then show you the final kind of product. That's my plan for the reading vlog. I'm also hoping to go to the beach this weekend. And when I say beach, like I live in Houston, so the closest beach is Galveston. She's not very pretty, but she is a body of water. I don't know if you have experienced this, but sometimes you just need to be by some water. You know, you just need to hear the waves. I've been really feeling that, so I'm really excited to hopefully do that this weekend. And I'm gonna, of course, take my books with me and take a lot of naps and read and nap and read and eat. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Okay, as you can see, it's a new day. I don't know what happened. I had a really busy day at work yesterday. I didn't build a whole bunch. Actually, I think I did like 3 steps in the bag, but I was still listening to the book throughout. So just to kind of give like a quick update. So we have Audre, who is basically struggling with adjusting to her new family. So her mom just got married to her high school sweetheart, kind of, and they have a daughter. So she has a new baby sister and she's feeling kind of neglected in the family. But she's also, of course, the school's therapist. She charges folks $45 for sessions, which I'm like, okay, it's a little bit high to be charging in high school, but like, get your money, girl. I don't know. And of course, she meets Bash, who has this reputation of like party boy, playboy, and she's like basically been the one that's been counseling the girls who have been dumped or hurt by him. But she's trying to get into Stanford for their psychiatry or psychology program, and she wants to set herself apart. So she wants to write basically a book, a self-help self-help book for teenagers on how to survive life, right? But her friend's like, hey, you actually haven't really lived that much life. Like maybe you should focus on having a fun summer so that you can get inspiration to write your book and beat your writer's block. So she decides to hire Bash as like a fun consultant. But yeah, it's a very fun book so far. I love it. The writing is there. Audrey's clearly holding on to a lot of like feeling neglected, also feeling like her role has to be caretaker, which is a lot for like a 17-year-old to be carrying. Also, she was supposed to be going to California to stay with her dad for the summer called Dadifornia, but he canceled because his wife is pregnant, and so she's devastated by that. Again, those feelings of feeling neglected are coming back up in this way, but I love it so far for sure. But I'm gonna get back to building and listening. Reading update for the week. So I started and finished Audre and Bash Are Just Friends by Tia Williams. I was listening to that on audio. Again, I really loved it. I think it really went well with 7 Days in June. I'm really excited to see how Tia Williams continues to build that universe. Audre and Bash were so cute. I really liked the mental health aspect of the book. I felt like their friendship / love story was really beautiful. Really solid YA book. It's out now. If you're interested, I definitely recommend it. So I started and finished that one. Updates on the original Daughter. I didn't finish this one, but I am 60% through so far. It's a bit of a slower read, but I'm very drawn by the story. So again, it's like these two sisters, and we find out in the beginning that one of them is super famous and the other one isn't, but is taking care of their mother who has cancer. And then we go back in time to see basically why their relationship between the sisters is so fractured. So I'm in the back in time phase, and the story is very layered. I like it, but just expect it to be a little bit slower. And then next, with The Devil Three Times, I know I've been talking about this book for months. I did not finish it. I'm 40% in on this one, but it's really intriguing. It's really just a me thing. It has nothing to do with the book. It's me. I do plan on finishing it next week, and then I'll be able to review it a little bit more, but the writing is really funny. I do like it a lot, and the story is very interesting too. So didn't finish this one either, but having a good time reading it. A book that I randomly decided to start and finish. I had no plans of reading it or picking it up. I got it on audio. So that book is Happiness Forever by Adelaide Faith. And just let me read the description. It's described as a complete refreshment and uplift of energy. First novel for the head and the heart. Sylvie is happy only when she's in therapy. This is because Sylvie is in love with her therapist. She thinks about her every second they're not together, roughly 167 hours and 10 minutes per week. In that room, Sylvie's able to talk about everything. The false hope promised by 80s music, what a dog's inner life is really like, and how sad she, Sylvie, is outside that room. She's aware she has an obsession, but whether it's some flavor of erotic transference or a lost person's need to connect, Sylvie isn't sure. When the therapist starts to prepare Sylvie for the terrible fact that all the treatment has to come to an end, Sylvie can't stop herself from imagining sleeping in her car parked outside the therapist's house. That won't work. She has to be brave. Be brave, Sylvie. We love you. Yeah, I started it and I was like, this book is hella weird. It's super weird. obviously very character driven. Lots of like inner monologue of this very much so character who is struggling with reality and doesn't quite understand the relationship between a therapist and a client. There were things that the therapists were saying that I was like, well, that's unethical or just simply like terrible to say to a client. But I finished it and I don't really have a takeaway. It was a very intriguing read. Again, if you're someone that just likes to like see different people or learn about different types of people, like you might be interested in this book because she truly is unhinged. I mean, we get reasons of like maybe some trauma that she's experienced that has led her down this path, but I also like didn't hate her. I felt kind of like sad for her throughout the book. It was fascinating. I don't know if you need to read it, but if you're interested in like unhinged characters and just kind of like very character driven books, I do recommend. And last but not least, I finally finished the Lego set. It took months. So this is her in all her glory. If you've ever built a Lego building, each floor is kind of like not fully connected because the intention is that you can take them apart and see what's inside. I don't do that personally because it really stresses me out. The top is a little apartment, super cute. The middle right here is a clock store. And then the bottom, like I mentioned, is a cafe. And then this is the haberdashery. I loved it. Again, it was like a pretty straightforward build. There were no parts of it that like really annoyed me. Well, I'm lying, actually, hold on. Girl, you're lying. This little like black and white section and the red, yeah, I really hated that. Did not love that at all because the pieces are just kind of like, anyways, aside from that, it was great. I definitely recommend it if you are looking to build like a longer Lego set. It's gonna take a while. I think it's beautiful. I have no idea where I'm gonna put it. Lego sets are everywhere. But for now, I'm proud of myself for finishing. I finished this while I was listening to Audre and Bash, or Just Friends. It was really fun. I loved it. So that's it for this reading vlog. I really enjoyed filming it. Like, it's been a while since I filmed one. I was like, wow, I actually really missed that. I gotta get back to doing things that feel really good and exciting. As you can see, I started the week with 3 books that I was reading, finished one that I said I was reading, and then grabbed another one that was very random and completely out of place. And that's just a great description of how I am and who I am as a mood reader. But if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching as always, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.